inheritance?
All tribes, all nations, all communities have their tradition and culture. As we do our own, or as we observe our tradition and culture, so the Europeans, the Americans, and the rest of them, so they do observe their own.
New Yam Festival in Igbo communities. Is there any other tribe in Nigeria or in Africa that celebrates Yam Festival apart from Igbos? Anyway, before continuing with the Yam Festival, let's briefly talk about this misconception by we Africans that the Westerners don't believe in tradition or culture. And this has actually made us to begin to devalue our culture and the traditions. Of a truth, as time goes by, amendment of traditions and the cultural inheritance will be inevitable. Many generations that have gone, the current generation and the one after us will continue adding and removing things they feel uncomfortable with. Yet, there are some that are likely to stay to the very end of the world. Some culture, ethnic values, spiritual and religious beliefs are likely to be observed till the very end of the human existence.
Tradition and culture is something that is everywhere in the world. So in Nigeria, in Anambra State, in Umuawlu here, we have our traditions and culture.
It is almost impossible to find a country without a tradition or culture. The Queen of England, who recently passed away, before she was buried, they sent the palace beekeeper, 79-year-old John Chapel, to the bees' hives to inform the bees of the Queen's death and also to inform them of Charles becoming the next king so that they, the bees, could help in choosing Queen's successor. It could be King Charles III or another queen instead. Note that the palace beekeeper knocked at each hive to inform the bees of the queen's death. But under normal circumstances, did the bees need to be told about human affairs? Would they have any sort of opinion over human affairs or over their national affairs?
Royal Daily Mana Custard for your energy.
Royal Daily Mana Custard Powder is available in vanilla flavor, banana flavor, and 3-in-1 milk flavor. Available in all sizes. NAFDAC approved products and standard organization approved.
After King Charles III was enthroned, the royal beekeeper went back and informed them of the king's enthronement. Wow! Such rituals have been there many centuries ago, inasmuch as the queen was the oldest monarch in the whole of British region, yet her son Charles couldn't succeed her as king without the bees' inquiry by palace beekeeper. More so, they have this belief that if the bees are angry, there will be some consequences in their land. Some Africans don't believe Westerners have traditions like that, right? Anyway, that is another story for another day. To narrow it down to Nigeria and to Igbo communities to be precise, New Yam Festival is one of the major and the long-time festivals in Igbo land, and it is likely to be among some Igbo culture that may not die to the very end of the world due to its importance and some impact it has created in various Igbo communities, such as unity and reunion. It also serves as a period for sharing ideas and the gifts as well.
Millennium age, maybe sigo omenala. Mana ndị ji abụ ihe ndị be anyị ka jisiri ike wee were na egosi other tribes. Afa mbụ eze amaala ụlọ obi Umuawlu.
Many centuries ago, after God, the next person in the heart of Igbos most valued and honored are the kings. But presently, democratic leadership seems to have overpowered monarchical leadership in many parts of the world, including Africa. For example, people who have connections with senators, governors, and in the presidency believe kings should pay some allegiances to them so as to connect them to higher power like the presidency connection, instead of them paying allegiances to the king like in the olden days. This is absolutely wrong because the two leaderships are quite different from each other. The king remains in his throne until he joins his ancestors, while governors, presidents, and others last only 4 to 8 years.
People don't regard kings as it's supposed to be done. Because, especially in the Igbo land, if you are wealthy, or even if you are not wealthy, as far as somebody is not giving you food, you don't give all that regards to that person, because he feels nobody feeds him. He feeds himself. For that reason, he doesn't bloody care whoever you are, whether you are king or whatever. In fact, even some people don't even respect God, not to talk of kings.
Like I mentioned earlier, before, people, big and the small, do pay allegiances to kings so as to gain the king's blessings and the favor. In those days, kings serve as the highest authority that would take the final decision over crucial matters. Anyway, this will be another story for another day.
Royal Daily Banana Custard for your energy.
Royal Daily Mana Custard Powder is available in vanilla flavor, banana flavor, and 3-in-1 milk flavor. Available in all sizes. NAFDAC approved products and standard organization approved.
These days, New Yam Festival seems to be the major thing that makes people to take cognizance of their kings. Some people don't even know the name of their king, while some can't recognize their king when they see them anywhere in a public function. But with the New Yam Festival, people tend to come home and get to know their king or reunite with each other. During such festival, the king receives different kinds of presents from his kingdom, neighboring communities, and from royal friends, far and near kingdoms. Only the king receives presents and no one receives from the king. I don't know if it is like that in the ancient Igbos, but know that during the king's Ofala or other things that the king does, he does share a lot of free stuff to people. That's why Igbos often use the word, am I doing Ofala? And am I about Ofala? To address some people who want to collect more from them, especially when they are doing it out of greed. At this point, I'm hereby presenting Umuawlu New Yam Festival. We can't talk about a kingdom without mentioning their king. Umuawlu is a kingdom in Awka South, ruled by His Royal Majesty Igwe Dr. Joel Egwanwu Ezudo II in Umuawlu. He is a Christian who believes his kingship is for all, both Christians and the non-Christians. He doesn't segregate. He is a very simple and humble king, available and approachable. wears a smiling face often. If you meet him when he is not on a royal attire and you don't know him personally, you might assume he is the smallest of his kingdom, not knowing that he is the head, the eyes, and the mouthpiece of his kingdom. Wow. What can we learn from this king's description? Never judge a book by their cover, and never judge people afar or by physical appearance.
But now you can see there's no more white collar jobs. So we encourage people to go into farming because farmers are supposed to be the richest people on earth. But people, because of the nature of the labor there, people don't want to go into farming.
In continuation to Umuawlu New Yam Festival, which took place on Saturday, 24th September 2022 at the King's Palace. In the olden days and even till today, some strong Igbo traditionalists will not taste or eat yam until their king performed these rituals going on here today. The king will have to present a cooked yam before the creator of the whole universe, pray to him, and as well thank him for letting them plant their yams and harvest them. After the prayer, he will eat some, and then his community and everyone who wish to eat can now eat and join the celebration.
How my delight from when I was small, I'm like people. Even in the memory, the little I have given. I love sharing. So Katina came up in a better way, and for years, people na tacha for charge put the people at the end of the day. We na compliment. So now this is the reluctant in Ekoti. So mgbe na aga si ebe ọ bụ na Chineke agọzigo nọ na we ma assignment may take na one Igbo ka na motivate ka we ma asị na edo dike na nke o mere na onwe ike emekwa ọzọ. So ka nsi ebe ahụ na-enyere ụmụ ogbenye aka ndị mere ka.
With Igbo adage which says, "Nwanyi bụ ife," I won't forget the presence and the contribution of Ada Jugo. She represents a full Igbo woman in all ramifications, a great philanthropist of our time. Every New Yam Festival, she encourages the best 4 farmers in her community, Umuawlu, with one new brand motorcycle each. Some cash, like the highest farmer of the year, goes home with 100,000 naira, 50,000 naira to the second position, down to the lowest farmer of the year. She also gave 20,000 naira each to 100 people in her community. At some point, she felt she hasn't done enough, even with all of this she did. So she started spreading money on air so that a large number of people can be part of her blessings. She kind of trying to make sure that the low estate people in her community would go home with smile, no matter how little it could be.
Amen. Amen.
Accident in one and came at Jesus.
Amen.
So if I want to catch it,
However, she derives great joy seeing people running around joyfully picking money from her during the festival. This also graced the occasion greatly, because if we begin to take life too seriously all the time, we are likely going to die quicker. But doing stuff like this would promote life a lot. In those days, they have what is called Egwu Onwa. These are the things that make people in those days to live longer.
Principle. All mmadụ ya was saying that this thing I will not do it, I will not do it. All mmadụ nwere ike buy with money. So ọ na-stand on whatever is truth. Eziokwu ka o ji achị. Ọ nọrọ na ka n'iwe aka azụ. So ọ bụrụ na Igbo anyị na-enwe ụdị Igbo anyị a 70% na Anambra anyị ma na Igbo entirely, I don't think na a ga na-enwe issue.
Nevertheless, yam is one of the major Igbo food. Igbos values and they pay respect to yam a lot, to the point that you can't jump over a yam in the presence of an elder without him or her calling you back to recross or rejump the yam, and afterwards would seriously warn you not to try such again, especially if you are a woman. Finally, yam is used for various purposes like omugo. When a woman is coming for omugo or leaving her in-laws' house after omugo, she must have some tubers of yams with her. Although these days, most Igbos have converted some of these Igbo lifestyles to money. Also, yams are being cooked for newly born mothers in various ways. Yam is compulsory during traditional marriage. For consumption of lands purchased in the village, yam must be cooked, and many other ways yams can be used as compulsory. Presently, politicians use such events, New Yam Festival, as an avenue to rebuild and to restrain their relationship with their community and their kings as well. So can you now see reasons Igbos do celebrate Yam Festival in a very special way every year?
Royal Daily Mana Custard for your energy.
Royal Daily Mana Custard Powder is available in vanilla flavor, banana flavor, and 3-in-1 milk flavor. Available in all sizes. NAFDAC approved products and standard organization approved.
For those of you in diaspora, Umuawlu is a very nice place for agricultural investment because they have good soil for agriculture. It is a very good opportunity to invest in a mechanized farming these days. Also in greenhouse farming, poultry, livestock, and so on. You can partner with them from anywhere in the world. They are ready for business. Long life to the King of Umuawlu, long life to his kingdom, and more better celebration ahead. Thanks for watching. I am Ifin Ede for Squan Television. Do subscribe and follow us on our channels for more amazing, life-changing and realistic content on all the platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all that. Or you can log on to www.sclantelevision.com.